We all love dark, creepy stuff. And if you don't, why are you watching this video? I mean, it's titled Dark/Creepy Stuff in Majora's Mask. So, why did you click on it if that's not what you wanted to see? Well, that aside, that's exactly what you're getting. Not sure if everything in here would fall into the creepy category, but all of these do have some dark undertones. Also, I'm assuming that you've played Majora's Mask all the way through here, so have a free spoiler warning. If you go to Romani Ranch on the first day, you can talk to Romani, who informs you that they are coming, and that they are going to steal all the cows. Apparently, they are strange alien ghost light bulb creatures that come every year and steal the livestock. If you actually do come back at 2:30 a.m. on the night of the first day, they actually do come. You can fight them off and save the farm, but if you don't... yeah. Now, let's dive into this more. What exactly are these things? Well, let's have a look at the Gorman brothers, who run the racetrack. If you successfully stop the ghosts, the Gorman brothers will try to hijack Cremia's milk wagon on the second night, wearing these creepy masks. It's also established that the Gorman brothers blocked the entrance to Romani Ranch before the 3-day cycle began. So, could the Gorman brothers have somehow summoned these ghosts to come steal the cows every year? What makes me say this is the masks they are seen wearing have the power to summon spirits. And after the ghosts have stolen the cows, you can go to their racetrack, beat them in a race, and they'll give you milk as a prize. I may not be very knowledgeable about racetracks, but since when do they have dairy cows? So, where exactly did they get all this milk? It's not airtight, but it is a possibility that the Gorman brothers are behind all the troubles at Romani Ranch, even the ghosts. If you've played the game at all, chances are you've gotten the Moon's Tear and seen the Skullkid spank his butt at you like he's taunting you. However, something interesting happens if you get the Moon's Tear on the third day. Rather than spanking his butt at you and running off, the Skullkid just sits there and twitches. Could it be that by the third day, Majora's Mask has completely taken over his mind? While we're on the subject, how exactly is Majora's Mask stuck on his face? Especially when you see that it has tentacles. Ugh. In the start of the game, the Skullkid steals your horse Epona, and later states that he got rid of it. Did he just kill our horse? Well, no, right? Because later in the game, we find Epona in Romani Ranch. So, all is well with the world, right? Once you think about it, when did the Skullkid have time to take Epona to Romani Ranch? The 30 seconds it took you to catch up to him? And for that matter, why does Romani know the song to call Epona? Or even know Epona's name? This could mean that the Skullkid really did kill Epona, And the opponent you get later is actually Epona's Terminian counterpart. Back in Ocarina of Time, I'm sure everybody noticed the blocks in the temples with the Triforce on them. We know that the people of Hyrule worship the Triforce, so it's no surprise that they would have some kind of effigy to it in the temples. Temples being places of worship, after all. So, with that in mind, why is Majora's Mask carved into the blocks in the Termina temples? Meaning that it's very possible the people of Termina, rather than worshipping the Triforce or the goddesses, they worship Majora, who may very well be some sort of anti- or evil goddess. We can take this a step further by looking at the pillars outside of Akanya Canyon. These pillars depict a face licking or defiling the Triforce. This suggests that not only do the people of Termina not worship the Triforce, but they downright despise it. If we look into Akanya Canyon some more, we get the idea that some kind of war happened here long ago. Could it have possibly been a war between Termina and Hyrule? Possibly even involving the gods themselves, and causing Termina to be cast into some alternate dimension as a result. Romani Ranch really has it rough in this game. A gigantic boulder trapping them there for who knows how long, ghosts coming to abduct their livestock along with Romani, and the Gorman brothers trying to sabotage their first milk delivery in a long, long time. But if you can help them out with all of that, everything is just fine and Romani Ranch can be happy and prosperous and... Oh, right. I forgot about that thing. Do you think they even know? Crimea knows. On the third night, you can listen to a conversation between Crimea and Romani. Crimea allowing Romani to finally drink Chateau Romani, a drink that draws parallels with alcohol in the real world and thus is for adults only. Crimea tells Romani that she now acknowledges Romani as an adult, and dropping subtle hints that she knows what's going to happen, and she's giving Romani the drink so that she remains unaware of her surrounding when the moon comes crashing down. It's painfully obvious that the four areas of Termina are 100% screwed, due to that whole moon situation. But let's ignore the moon for a bit. Without it, are these areas going to be okay? Well, no. In the southern swamp, they're bordering on war between the monkeys and the Deku Scrubs, and on top of that, the poison waters are making it difficult for anything to even survive there. The Gorons in the mountains are already close to death, there's no food and no warmth to be found anywhere, and the Gorons that live there, as well as everything else there, will soon die. The waters of Great Bay have become polluted and the fish are dying off. The Zora and the fishermen can no longer get food and will soon starve to death. Even their entertainment has been taken away because their lead singer has lost their voice. They literally have nothing to do but think of their tragic, we're going to die situation. In Akanya, the dead can no longer rest and now haunt the living, attempting to make them join the ranks of the dead. And the last two living things in Akanya Canyon will soon become part of the undead. Okay, everyone's familiar with the Kaifei side quest. Meet Anju at midnight, meet Kaifei the next day, get the mask back, blah 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 blah, yada yada yada. But let's look at what happens when you mess up. If you deliver the Pendant of Memories to Anju, but fail to get the Sun Mask back from Seikon's lair, Anju will still wait in her room, sitting there saying, I made my promise, I'll wait for it, until the world ends. Believe it or not, there's a more depressing outcome. If you manage to save the Sun Mask, but forgot to give the pendant to Anju, Kaifei will arrive as the clock ticks down to the end of the world, and realize that Anju didn't wait for him and went into hiding. staring at her wedding dress and regretting his mistakes until